Well, top of the morning to you. Hope you guys have your pot of coffee on, or your Keurig, or whatever, and breakfast. How about we talk about coins this morning? And of course, Blue Ridge Silverhound has to get out the daily dose of education for everyone. And I love doing this. I don't do it as often as I should. Again, probably it would be a good idea to do videos such as this, where we take a look at the last 12 to 24 hours of coin sales, and it typically revolves around errors, because error coins is the one sector in numismatics where a lot can be construed as one thing when it's really another thing, and typically not for the good. Okay, usually these coins would really be non-errors. Okay, like post-mint damage, stuff that happens after these coins leave the mint. So it's always a good idea to see coins firsthand that people have sold, and then you get my kind of like testimony on what I believe is going on. Okay, 99.9% of the time, I will peg it correct. Okay, which is good news for you guys, because you have a reliable source. And another great thing about these is these are up to the minute sales. Okay, I'm not talking about coins that have sold 5-10 years ago for an insane amount of money. These are coins that sold within earshot of the last 24 hours. So it gives you also an idea of the current market value for these types of coins. But before we get started, I wanted to do a quick shout out to Tennessee Gem. His name's Jim. Okay, easy to confuse, I guess, if you don't slow down there. But Mr. Jim, good morning, sir. This one's for you. Yeah, you're gonna be seeing more daily shout outs. So I'd be happy to do that for everyone. Just go ahead and comment below if you want to shout out on the next video, and I'll be sure to oblige. But I'm going to start out with a coin which is one of my perennial favorites. Being that I live on the West Coast, you don't see a lot of these, because these are struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Okay, and it's the 2000p Sacagawea Dollar. Okay, this particular variety, and then I'll get into the differences between varieties and errors here in a second, but this one is called the Wounded Eagle, or the Speared Eagle. They go by both types. It's a cherry picker's guide variety. It's designated as FS 901 as far as this particular error. But if you see my pointer right here, this one sold for $103.50. It sold last night, as a matter of fact, around 8 p.m. So what this is there's a few die gouges right in the middle of the eagle's breast, and it kind of goes into the wing. Okay, that's what the slash is right here, and then you have two other slashes. These are simply die gouges. Okay, when the mint workers were preparing these dies and maintaining them, they inadvertently made a deep scratch or a gouge into the die, and therefore it transferred onto the actual coins. It's a really neat effect, and it looks like the eagle is certainly being struck down by some arrows, or a spear of some sort. But this is a coin that I look for. Now, here's an interesting thing. This thing sold for over $100. I feel like there's not enough of these out there. Most people don't really like searching, the gold dollars. But take a look at the condition of this coin. This one has certainly come out of circulation. It can't be no better than maybe an XF, maybe AU condition coin. There's the front. It's got its fair share of nicks and scratches and so on and so forth. So this is again a huge wake-up call testimony to a lot of folks out there that kind of don't believe that there's anything of value to be found in the higher denomination coins. Okay, people go through half dollars for the silver. People really don't go through, the Native American gold dollars, and even the presidential ones. It's pretty incredible what you could find and what you could turn profit-wise on such coins. So let's go ahead and take a look at some other listings. I've already advanced ahead on a few, and if there's anything of note, we're gonna deep dive into the actual auction as opposed to just kind of passing through them. So we got a 2001 Lincoln Cent Broad Strike that looks good. Sold for $2 plus $4 shipping. So it's a $6 coin there. And you can tell because of the wideness. This was struck outside of the collar in the minting chamber or the press chamber. So we have a 69S struck through grease. You can tell by the very mushy details and the lack thereof of anything recognizable as far as the motto and liberty and the date and all that. That looks good. $10 plus almost $4 in shipping. That's solid right there. That's a good find. And I come across these quite often. Maybe not to this extent, but you would be surprised. People actually collect these, and they sell for a nice little chunk of money. Here's another broad strike, sold for almost as much as that previous example. So here's a 1960D with an apparent repunched mint mark. This is legit. It's $10 plus $3.45 shipping. However, this individual put this coin as an error, and not only that, they also put the word error twice in their listing. It's an AU graded coin. It's raw, obviously. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Again, the problem is this is not an error, but I kind of understand why the person put error in here. Actually, they probably could have changed out one of the errors for variety. That would be a lot better. Repunch mint marks are varieties. They are not errors, okay? And the difference is with varieties, okay, you have the repunch mint mark on the master die. Okay, so the mint will continuously hammer out, 10,000 coins with this repunch mint mark, okay, which doesn't quite make them one of a kind, whereas an error is a one of a kind event to a coin. Okay, so let's say someone strikes inadvertently an off center, like 50% off center coin. They're only going to do one of that type, and that's it. If they try to do it a second time, it will not be the same. Okay, it might be 5% off. It might be a little bit more rotated. So that's the difference between an error and a variety. So if you were going to list these coins, you want to make sure you try and designate them as such. Okay, probably wouldn't hurt to put the word error because it is a commonly used search term when people are looking for this type of coin. But it looks good. I mean, this is a really decent amount of money for a post wheat cent repunch mint mark. I mean, it is, a really dramatic repunch mint mark on there. So that's a nice looking coin. If you just want an example, that's a good candidate. So see 12S, there's really nothing there. Check this out. So this is a 1966 Lincoln Cent with a die chip. I think the seller kind of over dramatized the 3 unique reverse die breaks. Let's just go ahead and check it out. As the picture only indicates 1 die chip. So let's see here. Oh, so okay, so it's 3 different cents, 66s and 167. Oh, that's pretty cool. This one has what looks to be a little bit of a cud on there, so that's probably, and then that there is a die chip. A die chip occurs not near the rim. Actually, a cud would involve a rim. A die chip would not. Pretty neat. Okay, I think that's probably a bargain. That probably should have sold for about 3 times. I would venture to guess that if the seller did 3 separate auctions, they could make a few extra dollars more on that. All right, so there's a 1998 Lincoln Cent broad strike that looks good. So it's about just over $8 shipped. That one's pretty cool. That's a capped die, 1978 Lincoln Cent, sold for best offer. Here is a Cud. This is a die break that sold for $17.50. That one looks pretty good. This one looks very attractive. A 1965 huge broad strike Jefferson nickel. The thing about a broad strike on a Jefferson nickel, if it's big enough, it will be the size of a quarter, if not bigger. Crazy how nutty these things can get. This one sold for almost $54 shipped. Oh yeah, look at that thing. That thing is huge. You can just tell from the spread of the letters as it's stretched all the way to the rim edge that this thing is probably bigger than a quarter. Wow, that's insane. Yeah. 1944 off-center wheat cent. Oh, look at that. It's only 5% off, but it sold for $30. Not bad. There's another Cud 57 that sold for $39 shipped. That one's pretty cool. It's got a big old massive die break on there. I don't know what this is. This Homestead quarter. It says U.S. error. It doesn't really specify anything specific. Here's a lot of 4 different error coins that sold for almost $20 shipped. It's pretty neat. Here's another double die obverse, which, if you're going to do a listing and you're like, oh, this is a double die obverse, and then DDO 004 question mark, that means you are uncertain that it is truly a double die. So you want to make sure that you go onto your resources and check the diagnostics of your coin before you list it. I firmly believe, based off of what I see here, that this is a really minor double die. And if you can't peg exactly what the attribution number is, then you probably should not post it on there until you get that information. Let's see, Cumberland Gap. I don't know. Yeah, it looks like it's something. I don't know. So here's a 1972 Type 3 Ike dollar. Weak reverse strike. It's AU. It says broad struck and collar. I don't quite agree with this one. Only because to get a broad strike, you can't have a collar. So I feel like, and I looked at this one earlier, and you could tell that the rim edge, or the actual the reading on there, is pretty weak. What I think happened here is this coin was simply struck on an undersized planchet, albeit a very small undersizement. But if this person would have probably weighed the coin first, and if there's any slight deviation, then that would explain that. So we have a couple more that I want to show you today. This next one is a huge red flag. Okay, it looks and appears to be a off-center Lincoln wheat cent. Okay, this one is very problematic in what is out there today being listed. Okay, so first of all, this guy does not accept returns. Huge red flag. Second of all, this is a wheat cent, okay, that was off-center struck on a zinc planchet. Now, how does that happen? Okay, furthermore, look at all this damage on the obverse side of the coin. Okay, that's very telling of a coin that was possibly squeezed into a vise. Okay. Second of all, take a look at the lettering. It's backwards. Everything is backwards. This is not a brockage. Okay, it's not an off-center brockage. Okay, this one was manufactured in someone's garage. So crazy. This one is not real, and whoever bought this probably, I don't know. They might know it's not real. It says very unusual error. So, anyways. All right, guys. Sorry about that. Kind of lost my feed there for a second, so I had to kind of fix that. But let's go ahead and take a look at a few more coins. 1946 S Trumpet S Lincoln Wheat Cent. I've come across a few of these, and the 1946 date Lincoln Wheat Cents have three different mint mark styles. Okay, you have one with a serif, you have one sans serif, and then you have a Trumpet S. The Trumpet S type is a little bit tougher to find. Let's see, $15 shipped. It might be a little bit on the high side because they're not exactly rare, but it is a neat coin regardless because of the condition. It's a nice low mint state type grade. So you can see like random stuff in here. This 2006 Sac Dollar, which is a San Francisco proof, not an error. There's a fold over strike, pretty neat coin. That one's graded, so it's worth all the money in this grade. And these are rare errors to find. Actually, they just don't exist unless you find one in a bag from the Federal Reserve. Let's see here. We got a little bit of a lot of error coins with some webbing from the strip. 1960D Lincoln Cent double die chip and long die crack. And then 1977 reverse die clash error. The die clash I could buy. The 1960D just seems, I don't know. It sounds like there's a lot going on with the coin. For a couple bucks, I'm just kind of curious what exactly. Oh, okay. So this is the 1960 right here. There's like 10 images of the coin, and it's all in Liberty. Oh, there's a little die crack too, right in the Lincoln's lapel, or not lapel, in his jacket toward the back shoulder. Oh, okay. So $2.20 with free shipping. You're not gonna make a whole lot of money doing that. Okay, so there's off-center Jefferson nickel. Yeah, looks okay there. Oh, there's a lamination. 1936D. Laminations in early dates are extremely coveted. Okay, so even though they're nice and circulated and everything like that, these things can sell between $10 and $25 depending on the size of the lamination, and it doesn't matter if it's on the obverse or reverse. Now this is a steal right here. 1982 P Kennedy half dollar, missing initials on the reverse, so there's no FG on here. This is because it's in great condition. It's BU. These are coins that typically sell for around $35 to $50. I know graded ones get up there. We have a selection of off-center coins. This is the Sacagawea Dollar, the speared eagle that we looked at. 1955 D over S. It looks like a minor inclusion into the Wexler files. It's interesting. I've never seen one of those before. Oh, that's a Jefferson nickel. Okay, that makes sense. I thought it was a Lincoln Cent for a second, but yeah, these are popular. The over mint marks in the Jefferson nickels are highly sought after in any grade, as long as you could see the over mint mark really clearly, which you can in this picture. All right, so we have a couple laminations, and these sold for quite a bit of money. I don't, I would have to check the worth point to see how much these sold for, but you have a couple laminations. This one right here fell off on Liberty, so let's say this thing sold for $10. I don't know. Here's a 1944 D Lincoln Wheat Cent lamination before strike. Yeah, that one's kind of cool. That one sold. I mean, they wanted $40 for it, so if they got $20 for it, then that makes sense. Yeah, so that's just a little snippet of various coins that show up on here. I mean, really, there was only one. Look at that. Someone sold the machine doubled coin for $3 and then $4 shipped. That's crazy. There are people that like machine double. They're just, they're not worth anything other than face value or just the intrinsic value of the coin. But hopefully these listings inspire you to find, like the laminations, for example, sold really well. They're phenomenal sales on here on laminations. It's pretty nice. It's a very attractive deal. And laminations are not at all hard to find, honestly. Especially if you're a searcher of Lincoln Wheat Cents. So, yeah, a lot of good stuff on there. Check this out: 1993 Washington Quarter, 66% off center, high grade. Oh my gosh, that thing is nice. When you have a full date on an off center coin, that's a good one. Sold for $63.98 with almost $4 in shipping. See, there's folks also selling some of the minor double dies on the America the Beautiful National Park quarters too. And as you can see, you can sell one quarter for $3. I mean, if you made $1.50 to $2 off of every coin you sold that you did find, that's not too bad. Fill up some sales for you and pump up your feedback level. Yeah, so there's a few sales there, $4.75. Another one for $4.75, and these are 2 coin lots. A 2000 raw struck Lincoln cent. That's a nice size. It might be the size of a nickel. Oh boy. I'm gonna end on this one. Okay, this 1998 here, tilted large tilted collar. That one's interesting, but this one right here, guys. This is a main example of something that you need to keep your eye out on. Okay, this one right here should never have happened, and I don't know how 6 people bid on this thing. If it's a bidding war between 2 guys that don't know anything about, this type of anomaly, at least the seller accepts returns. All right, so this is a 1951D Lincoln cent. Okay, as you can see, I mean, the thing looks weakly struck on both sides. All right. Boom. Do you know what this is? And the planchet's thin. Look how thin that thing is. I've seen these a million times in wheat cent bags, and I know exactly what they are once I see them. These are coins that have been acid dipped. Okay, so when you acid dip a coin, it's going to wear the coin evenly all throughout. So that's why you still have a lot of these design devices, upset on the coin and, raised and everything else. Okay, so you can virtually read all the wording, the motto, the date. You know exactly what everything is because the acid eats away at the coin at an equal level throughout the coin. Yeah, trying to figure out what to say there. But yeah, this is a tried and true acid dipped post mint damaged coin. Okay, $37, $3.50 shipping. I'm at a loss for it. I always see at least 1 or 2 of these a day. And it's crazy the amount of money. And you guys get any ideas? I don't want to see any more of these listings. But, geez, I hope it works out for both the buyer and seller. This is a commonality of the various type of. Well, let's see. The title of my video is "Trash or Treasure," right? Well, this is obviously trash. Okay, at least it's worth a penny. Or maybe 2 cents by the time you figure in copper. But the acid is eaten just over half of the weight of the coin. That is so nuts. A copper Lincoln cent is 3.1 grams, as you know. So this one weighs in at 1.4. Wow, that's incredible. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this little trip through time on these air auctions that all ended. Yeah, if you want good practice and you want to know what everything looks like and how certain things sell for, you can actually take advantage of this and make some good money as you coin roll hunt through your Lincoln cent boxes, through your nickel boxes, and all the other denominations. It's like, hey, why not? That's a lamination, or that one's a misaligned die. I could sell for this kind of money. And you'd be surprised how much money you could profit from these bankroll boxes just by going into completed auctions on eBay. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Subscribe Blue Ridge Silverhound if you haven't done so already. And of course, the best way that you could support me is hit the like button. Okay, I know Tennessee Gem does, maybe. I don't know. But you guys have a wonderful morning. Hey, comment if you want to shout out on the next video. I would be happy to oblige. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you on the next one.